Welcome, I'm Dr. Shiner.
And I'm Dr. Rich.
And we want to invite you to a new TV show we are calling Transformation Docs. We are both surgeons who focus on helping people match their inner beauty with their outer appearance.
We have witnessed firsthand in our patients that enhancing the facial appearance is often a powerful catalyst for change in many areas of our patients' lives. For example, I am finding it is much more common that people choose a facial cosmetic procedure to help them in the dating scene or to maintain their current relationships, especially if they have a younger partner. 44% of Americans are single. Cosmetic treatments are not about vanity. This is a reality that people do treat us differently based on our appearances and based on how young or how old they think we are.
That's a great story, Dr. Rich. I remember a patient who came to me from Mansfield, Texas, for help with her lower eyelid bags and festoons, and she had smoked for years. When I suggested that she would heal faster if she stopped smoking, she did. And to our surprise, she continued to stay off cigarettes long after the surgery because of her desire to maintain her positive results. You know, the fact that my treatment was a catalyst for helping this patient lead a healthier life was humbling and wonderful.
When Dr. Shiner and I began sharing these stories of success, we realized how profound these instances of transformation from cosmetic procedures can be. And these transformation changes also occur in our relationships, spirituality, business life, as well as many other areas of our lives.
Yes, and we thought it would be great to share these stories of transformation. In this platform, it's our hope for you to realize and see the positive effects and transformations of others.
By learning from our patients' experiences, we are able to provide you with a more direct pathway to a richer, happier, and more successful life.
And this is the purpose of our new show, Transformation Docs. Dr. Rich and I will share powerful success stories that have inspired and empowered many people to face and overcome their challenges. Transformation Docs will feature people whose lives were changed through cosmetic surgical treatments. We'll also feature other guests who've undergone transformations in other arenas of their life, such as spirituality, relationships, health, and business. Let me tell you a little bit about my good friend here, Dr. Rich. Dr. Rich Castellano is a double board certified facial plastic surgeon who's performed over 10,000 facial cosmetic procedures, including 3,500 facelift procedures under local anesthesia. Patients travel from around the world to undergo his minimally invasive image lift facelift treatments. You can learn more about this by downloading a book that he has on Amazon called We Guarantee We Can Make You Look Younger. Dr. Rich graduated from medical school at the University of South Florida after being inducted into the prestigious Honor Society Alpha Omega Alpha. He went on to complete his surgical training and facial plastic surgery fellowship in Indianapolis at Indiana Purdue University. Dr. Rich has participated in medical mission work and indigent medical care. He continues to give his time locally, providing health care services to low-income families, and he has served on the board for a tennis charity that has provided hundreds of thousands of dollars to support Tampa's local charities. Dr. Rich is my perfect partner for Transformation Docs.
Thank you, Dr. Shiner. That's very kind of you to say. Let me also tell our viewing audience a little bit about you. Dr. Adam J. Shiner is a world-renowned laser eyelid and facial plastic surgeon. He was featured on Dr. Oz and the Doctor's TV show for perfecting a treatment for festoons, one of the most pervasive and often incorrectly treated form of eyelid bags. Dr. Shiner treats patients from around the globe with his proprietary Reset Festoon laser treatment. Dr. Shiner's new book, The True Definition of Beauty, provides insightful look into nonverbal cues on appearances and how they can impact our communication with the world around us. Dr. Shiner had his beginnings in the Northeast United States and received his medical training at the University of Pennsylvania and the Laser Eyelid and Facial Plastic Surgery Fellowship in Oklahoma City. In the community, Dr. Shiner dedicates his time to help victims of domestic violence through his involvement on the board of directors of the Spring of Tampa Bay, which is an amazing domestic violence shelter in our area. This makes me proud to be working with someone like Dr. Shiner on Transformation Docs.
Thank you, Dr. Rich. In our professional practices, Dr. Rich and I are on a mission.
Yes, we are on a mission. Our mission is to help as many people look and feel their best while creating long-lasting, fulfilling changes in their lives.
Who would not like to be happier, look younger, and feel more alive? Of course you would.
Well, now there are better options than we have ever had before, and we are here to show you how.
Today's Transformation Docs feature topic is cosmetic surgery. Through cosmetic surgery, we have available the latest research and technology to help improve people's lives.
And Dr. Shiner and I are going to open up our practices and allow you to look over our shoulders and see how transformations come through cosmetic procedures and how it changes lives.
Everyone knows a child when you were younger who was bullied. Well, I was one of those bullied children in my young years, and this affected me emotionally. To say my confidence was shot and I didn't know how I was going to make it through is an understatement. But I'll never forget the day I decided to stand up for myself and not take it anymore. I realized that I have the power to define how I see myself, and this also made me have compassion and empathy for those who are bullied in life by society. It's not fair that people with heavy, baggy lids are perceived as tired, old, or sick when they feel fine inside. It's not fair that people are perceived as sad or mad or bitchy when they feel happy inside. I'm passionate about helping people improve their appearance and remove that tired appearance so that the world relates them to a better way. For me, it's not about vanity, it's about communication and helping our patients and their faces give a better message to the outside world. Also, I'm going to explain how understanding the natural ratios of the face allows us to create results which are powerful, yet subtle.
Thank you, Dr. Shiner, for sharing that. It is very important that our audience understands why we are on this mission to help people look and feel their best. When I was 7 years old, I spent 2.5 years in a wheelchair and on crutches for a severe hip condition I had. When I was 11, my mom was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And when I was a teenager, I struggled with depression. I learned that no matter how bad things seemed like they were getting, I could always find something to smile about. Now I find my primary goal is all about helping other people use their smile to feel good about themselves and make a positive impact for those around them. What a good friend, huh?
Yeah, life is about having fun.
Without a doubt, Dr. Shiner, we are here to have fun, but also we're here to share the wisdom of how to feel good about being you.
Absolutely. Now we begin the exciting part of our program where we listen to a few of our patients who tell you in their own words and feelings what their transformations were like.
Suzanne, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
One of the questions that I like to ask is, what was it that prompted you to have a cosmetic treatment done?
I looked in the mirror one morning and I saw my Uncle Elio, and I didn't care for that look. He was a very, very kind man and a very benevolent man. However, when he was my age, his role in life was much different than my role in life, and they didn't match up. So that's what prompted me to seek a cosmetic procedure or something to put me more in alignment with what I was feeling inside and what I felt I needed to do in the future.
Yeah, so what you share with the audience, so what was the procedure that you had done? What was the thing that you were seeking help for?
Oh, I had these huge bags under my eyes. They hung halfway down my cheeks and they were very dark. And they had to go.
Yeah, and what did you feel that message was giving out there? And I guess the question is, were other people ever saying things to you about that?
No, I can actually say that I wasn't getting negative comments, which I'm grateful that my friends and family have tact and didn't do that to me. But the message I got when I looked in the mirror was, I don't have enough time to get everything done that I need to do.
Right.
Okay? My face looked older than my spirit and my soul and my goals.
Right.
And like I said, there was a serious mismatch that was out of alignment. And so I wanted to correct that. And the minute I did, and the minute the swelling went away and all that cleared up, I became a much more confident person. Okay, and I think that's what I got out of it. I got courage, and I knew that I had the energy that I needed to accomplish what I wanted to the rest of my life. Women today, as opposed to my grandmother, okay, we've got more to do. We have more, times have changed, and we have to interface more, whether we're taking care of our kids, whether we're doing volunteer work at a garden. There's a variety of things that seniors are doing to make the world, their community, a better place.
Right.
And you know, even if we are home taking care of our kids or our children's children, we need just more energy nowadays. Okay, we need more energy. You can't stay home and bake the cookies and bring the family together for Sunday dinner. Our roles have changed.
Yeah, I would say sometimes, you know, our own image, when we look in the mirror, that can affect us. That can affect our energy, right? Sometimes if we look tired, sometimes internally we can start to feel that way. Was that something that you had experienced?
Well, I wasn't sure which way it was going until after the procedure, but yes.
So
Yes.
before you had the cosmetic treatment and you would look in the mirror, what was it that you just did? Were you saying things inside your head? You said, hey, I don't have enough time to get things done. Do you feel like it held you back in social situations, that you did not engage other people as much?
I felt older than I was. I felt much older than I was. I thought, if my face is going, are my bones going to go next? Okay. Well, I'm a nurse, so I tend to think physical things. And that's basically what I felt, yeah. I felt I was aging prematurely or at a rapid pace, at a pace that I didn't need.
And
Because I feel fine.
Right.
I
you
felt
sure
fine,
do.
yeah.
So after your cosmetic treatment, you felt you engaged people a little bit more? You talked about your confidence getting higher.
I think so. I think so. I certainly became a more confident, a happier person. I had a better belief in myself, and I think that's what came out. Yeah.
Was there ever any instances, because we see in today's world, there are things, you know, kids are affected by bullying. There's ageism that comes out, right? There's sexism that comes out. These things that are not the values that we hold, but that does exist out there in society. Did any of those things affect you, you know, before this time period, before the procedure that you went through?
Not directly, but I think everybody, no matter what age they're at, or no matter where we are in civilization or advancement, we lose our power. And you have to fight to hang on to that. And by being all you can be, that helps it. And the procedure was the catalyst for me to get my power back and to get on track and to meet my goals.
That's just talking about things we talked about before. I mean, we talk about this, we see this in people that, you know, we all want to become better people, and sometimes the things that we do are catalysts for changes for people, and that's what's so powerful. That's what I love. Yeah. I love the fact that we are able to help these people these ways, and yourself, I mean, you're so sweet. This is wonderful.
Well, one of the reasons I went to Dr. Shiner is because I had an appointment to see some other practitioners, but when you walked in, you never took your eyes off my face, and and he was working all the time. He was doing that, and he shared with me his vision for me, and a lot of what you're saying here came out in that conversation. And personally, I loved your vision for me, and I loved your vision for everybody, and that's why.
One of the things that you touched on as well is the importance of choosing the right doctor. When you felt that comfort level with Dr. Shiner and his vision for you, that is one of the most important parts of doing a cosmetic procedure. And we had talked about this before. This is not the first time that you had taken a measure to improve your confidence. And it's okay to talk about it here.
No.
Can we talk about that or no? Is that, if it's off limits?
I was 60 years old and I put braces on my teeth. And I wasn't the oldest patient in the doctor's office, which always made me feel good. But that started it. And I think another part for me was that I gave myself permission to do it. Okay, that's huge. I mean, for me, and I think for a lot of women, you know, like, geez, do I really need this? What else could I be doing with these resources? And no, it was worth every single penny of it.
And I would say the same thing, because this is the smile doctor, my buddy right here. So he talks about that, and it's interesting, that thing you were even talking about the braces, right? Because I talk about this all the time. When we see each other, we evaluate eyes and mouth first. Our brain goes back and forth between those two areas. Those are the two most powerful parts of the face to communicate. And interesting, you've done that for both. I mean, I think that's, I have a story I could tell one time where we were at a homeless shelter in Phoenix, Arizona, and we went actually to visit the medical facility, and there was a dental facility there too. And usually the dental facilities at these homeless shelters are not the best places. It's usually like a bus, but there was some room in the building, so he started to set up a facility. And then he was very strategic in that he had residents rotating with him, and so he went to the companies that made the dental equipment and said, well, if you can give me some equipment for here, then that would help the students would get to know about your product. And there were 3 main companies. He went around to the first one, and the second one he said, they gave me this equipment. If you give me a little better equipment, the residents will probably want to buy that when they're done. He did that all the way around until he had the best equipment out of any homeless shelter they've ever seen, really any private practice either. So while they're there, the residents would do things. They had a woman there who had lost all her teeth. And so in this facility, this homeless facility, they were able to give her teeth back and give her a smile. And they said to her at the time, they said, Mary, so you have teeth, you have a great smile, and now you're employable. And she said, employable? Now I'm dateable.
God bless her. Right. And she can eat too.
Right, because I'm saying, because actually the smile, right? The smile is so important. We are these nonverbal beings going through this world, relating with each other, right? And we do get cues off of each other. And so, anyway, I applaud you. I mean, the things you're doing, that really, because you're beautiful inside and you're beautiful outside. You're so welcome. I really feel that way.
I love it. One of the things we also talk about is people do treat us differently based on our appearances. They treat us differently based on how young or old they think we are. And so, did you find that either doing your teeth or doing your treatment for your festoons and the eye bags, that the most important person who may treat us differently is ourselves? And so, did you find that to be true after your treatments?
Yes, absolutely. That I treated myself differently, because I won't give credit to anybody who looks at people and doesn't treat them accordingly. So it came from within, and I think that's the only way it counts. And that's what you guys do.
Was it challenging, because you have a medical background, was it challenging in terms of going into a medical procedure? A lot of times we're the caregivers, right, out there. Was that challenging to become the person whose care is being given to?
I'm sorry.
I'm saying that, we often are the ones giving care, and you are in the medical, you've given care to a lot of people, in your life too. And I'm saying, was it different to be on the other side of that equation? Having the procedure done as opposed to the person helping someone else?
I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that. No, I felt comfortable. I felt at ease. I felt like we were a team. I didn't feel patient-doctor or, no, I can actually say that I was quite comfortable. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did.
It's strange to have to go through a procedure that actually enjoyed the procedure, right? Because there is recovery associated, but right, the final result is really worth all this, right?
Yes.
Well, Suzanne, I'm really enjoying getting to know you. Of course, you're a great smiler, so anyone who's a great smiler is always good in my book. And one of the things that I'm curious about, you have such a positive self-image. Have there been other hardships or difficulties in life that may not have been very easy when you were going through them, but you look back and say, you know what, that made me a stronger person? Is there anything that you can think of off the top of your mind? Because you really do have a very strong self-image and good confidence.
I think that's because I developed it later in life. Mm-hmm. It was a struggle, and I have multiple learning disabilities that I didn't know about growing up and growing through school. Mm-hmm. So when I found out that, gosh and gollies, I'm not stupid, it was like a whole world opened up to me. I wasn't afraid to interact with other people.
Yeah,
I wasn't easily intimidated.
And that's a discovery that we make when we get to a point where we say, geez, I can't do this, or I've got this problem, what am I going to do? And then when you have the realization where you're like, I can. That is the transformation that opens things up. And what I have found talking to our patients is that there's a series of transformations that we go through that make us who we are. And when we even want to go to the next level, it's another transformation. So you're really amazing to share these stories with us. And that's the power of what we're trying to do, is to help people discover where are their pain? Where is their next transformation hiding? Because usually in our greatest pain, that's where the next transformation is just ready to happen and just take us to that next level.
Yeah. The growth after the pain, the wisdom after the pain, the joy after the journey. And yeah, I think cosmetic procedures, along with dietary and the whole gambit of health, and including mental health, gets you from one phase to another. And nowadays these phases come quick, they change quick, and you're on a treadmill.
Right, right. I think, and that's really what we're trying to do with the show idea for Transformation Docs, because we have this whole idea that there are ways that we change in life because actually we grow the most through our challenges in life. We learn more from our mistakes than from our successes in life, and that's where real growth occurs. I mean, you kind of relish the challenges because that's where great things are going to happen, right? And you're speaking to that, and that really aligns with the way that I feel about things, which is great.
Well, Bruno, which is my father, which was Elio's brother, always said that's why they put erasers on pencils, which is really simplistic. But he always said it. I mean, regardless of the catastrophe, or regardless of how big the catastrophe was for you, he just always said, it's no big deal. It's just no big deal. So, yeah.
I think it's a great way to go through life. That's wonderful.
So I'm curious, Suzanne, from your cosmetic treatment that you had, was there anything that happened that you didn't expect, or something, did it go just as you had planned in your mind, the way it would fall out, or was there any surprise as far as how you felt afterwards? Or I'm curious, when you walked into it, was it what you had expected from originally through your conversation and your expectation of what cosmetic procedures could do?
Well, yes and no. Yes, I was very well educated and preoperatively to know exactly what to expect and exactly what to do. Okay, and I also was sort of like living in this fantasy world, I'm going to get my hair cut and colored, and when I come out, it's going to be all done. And those 2 weeks of recovery, even though I was comfortable, I didn't have any pain that couldn't have been taken care of with cross-counter drugs. Mm-hmm. Staying home for 2 weeks it was more tedious than I had anticipated. And I live alone, so I was kind of like...
You're such an active person.
Was there anything else that you wanted to share with us, while you're here?
No, I think I think by reaching out to people, the people who need you will find you, and that'll it'll be as it should. And I'm just grateful you guys are here and have the beliefs behind your work that you do. So thank you, and it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to share your vision.
Thank you. Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you, and thank you both. And this has just been wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
You're
sharing.
welcome.
We've learned a lot. And what do you think about that comment she made about losing her power? When Suzanne said that, I said, oh my gosh, I mean, what a terrible thing to feel. And she certainly was very active. She has a lot of things she wants to take care of in her life, in her work life, in her family life, and to feel like you're losing your power, well, that's kind of scary.
I think it's amazing that the things that we do can actually make people feel better about themselves so that they can approach life in a new, more energetic way. And I think it's wonderful that she helped to explore some of that to us.
And the reality is, we have immense power inside of us, and sometimes things happen, people say things to us, or just life happens to us, and then sometimes we start to believe maybe we don't have that much power, and nothing could be further from the truth. So if we're able to do a cosmetic treatment, give someone a little boost, and then they just become reacquainted with themselves and say, that's right, I do have power. That just gives me goosebumps. I love it.
I love it too. I think that idea that we can be catalysts for change, where people think that they can approach the world with more vigor, that is an amazing thing. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on our show here today.
Thank you.
I mean, it's a real pleasure to meet you, Mel.
It's good to be here. Thank
And
you.
Dr. Rich was telling me all about you. And so could you share with us a little bit about what was going on with you and what the condition was that was bothering you that first put you on the path to seek out help from Dr. Rich?
For quite a few years, actually. My neck was a 100-year-old neck. I mean, I was young, and my neck started falling off, literally at 52. Right here. it just started falling off. And I think a lot of it's to do with your genes, because I'm a health nut. I've always been a health nut. A lot of times that's not good enough. You know, the way you take care of yourself, it doesn't matter. It's in your genes.
Yeah, what kind of, I mean, tell me a little about that. What kind of things do you do to stay healthy?
Oh, I go to the gym 7 days a week. I do 2 smoothies a day. I've always had digestive issues, so I've always been a food nut, I guess. I do a lot of fish and vegetables.
Wonderful.
And no meat.
So I think it's funny because the neck is an area that does tend to age us, right? When we see that coming forward, you know, we can feel that, you know, we're not presenting the best us that is out there.
Exactly.
So.
Especially when you have a turtleneck at 52 that points to the thing that's hanging down right here. You know, you literally need a turtleneck that's a turtleneck. I mean, out here to hide it. I mean, I have a million scarves and I never felt comfortable wearing them, so I didn't. You know, just, you look in the mirror and you think, I don't want to go on the rest of my life feeling this way. You know, you never felt like you looked good anymore, you know, and I'm not, it's not over yet. You know, I've still got a lot of living to do, and you have to start off in the morning looking in the mirror, and now I can, and I'm very happy.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. I love hearing these stories. You know, you had mentioned it was something you had been thinking about for a while. What do you feel is holding you back, Mel, from having something done about it?
Really, for years I went from plastic surgeon to plastic surgeon to plastic surgeon, and so I feel like for all my friends I did all the homework. I mean, from Dallas to Mobile, Alabama, the beaches of Alabama, I went everywhere until I came here, and actually he was number 3 here. And I'm just so glad that I found Dr. Castellano. I mean, he's a master at his craft. I mean, you can tell that you guys are extremely passionate about what you do, and I love you for it. I mean, we need help. My life is not over, not nearly over, and I want to go forward feeling the best I can feel look.
I know, I feel your spirit right now as we're talking here, and I could imagine, I mean, I have to see pictures of this later, but I can imagine that if this was heavier, that was not really congruent with or in balance with the person and the energy that I feel from you.
Thank you.
Did you feel that same way?
Exactly. You know, it was not even my mother's neck. I mean, it was a 100-year-old neck. It just didn't go with me at all, you know, and everybody would say, oh, you look fine. You don't need to have anything done. But when you look in the mirror, you have to do something about it. Or you've got to please yourself. And then, you know, you can keep on living and being the best you can be for everybody around you. Yeah, you know, when you're happy, everybody's happy.
That's really true. I mean, you know, what did your husband have to say about it afterwards?
I guess it doesn't sound very good, but he said, I can see some of the girl I married. You know, so that wasn't, I don't know, very complimentary. But, you know.
But he was happy with it.
He was happy. He's happy as long as I'm happy. He did not want me to look windswept, like I just, you know, jumped out of a plane or whatever. He hated that, and he'd always mention when he saw friends' wives that had that look, that he certainly wouldn't be happy if I had that look. And Dr. Castellano does less instead of more.
And that's a great point you're bringing up, because that is probably one of the fears that people have about having these procedures, is that getting a result that doesn't look natural.
Exactly.
And you're right, that is something, people look at that, they look in Hollywood, and there's so many conditions where people look other than the natural way they're supposed to look.
Exactly.
And so that, I think actually you are brave for actually going forward for having a procedure done, because there's a lot of things that would stand in your way. You're thinking about different things that could go a certain way. Was it a difficult decision that you had to make to have this procedure done?
Not at all when I met Dr. Castellano. I did go to 2 seminars, so I still studied, but I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid. This is it. I mean, this is what I walk out with. I wasn't afraid that he'd screw it up. You know, I felt all the confidence in the world in him, and that that was the answer. I mean, I had to be confident, or I didn't want my face to be lopsided, or this is it. I
Well,
can't
you were with one
get
of
a
the
new
best
one.
people around for this.
I believe, I believe he is. I mean, he was number 7 on my trek. He was my magic number 7.
Besides yourself, did your family or friends, did you ever hear, I mean, we do hear about things about ageism, age discrimination.
Oh, for sure.
And such. Did you feel any of that beforehand, that you've had any of those pressures on you, by what was happening with your face as you were getting older?
Certainly. I mean, the older you look, the more invisible you are. And I no longer feel invisible. I can dress and walk out and feel good about how I look. I used to buy a lot of clothes that would end up on the floor in the closet, because no matter what I put on, it wasn't going to fix this. I looked awful. And I would frustrate my husband because I was throwing fits in the bedroom. I'm just not happy with how I was looking when he wanted to go out with friends or whatever. And you have to be happy inside, and and invest in yourself. Women don't, and we need to. I mean, we are important to the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And your husband was supportive. What kind of response from your children before and after? Did you let them know before you were doing it what you were going to do?
I let the world know. I shouted it from the rooftops. I mean, everybody in the gym, and I'm talking a big gym, knew that I was having this done. And then thanks to Dr. Castellano, I could get back out into the gym in a week. And everybody, they'd come and look, and they were just excited for me. He is a master, and nobody could believe. One friend said, "Oh my God, he's Michelangelo," and he was. She looked behind my ears and all around, and right after, she could not believe that I guess didn't look like Scarface or something. I don't know. But yeah, all my friends were excited for me, and like I've laid the path for them. I've done all the homework.
Oh yeah, you sent a lot of your friends in,
Yes.
and that's what happened. People come in, their family and friends follow.
Exactly.
So afterwards, what was your daughter's response?
Oh, she was really happy for me. She knew that I was vain, and I wanted to look like I did when I was younger. And I don't apologize for being vain. I think I put my best foot forward from the time I was young to now. And if you want to call that vanity, so be it. But I feel good about myself, and she knows, and she's so happy for me. And down the road, when she loses a little bit more weight, she might come to see you for a similar procedure.
Well, Mel, now you certainly have a very positive self-image, very strong self-confidence. Where do you feel you got that from? Because coming into the procedure, you knew you've been a great smiler. Where did that come from in your life?
I had a lot of sadness early on in life, and you can truly let that bring you down. I lost my dad when I was 6, and that can easily bring you down. But my mother, I guess, taught me that you pull up your bootstraps or whatever and get on with it. And she had to, at a young age, as an RN, had to support us, and there were 3 of us, and we just had to carry on. There was no crybabies or anything else. You just, marched forward. And she was in World War II, so I think that had a lot to do with it. So, I do think that my mother was a great inspiration to me.
Wonderful.
A tough nut, but she was a great inspiration.
I think, I'm going to go back to something you said. I thought it was kind of interesting, the idea of being invisible, right? Because
you are as you get older.
I hear what you're saying about vanity. I don't ever think it is. I think really, first of all, it takes a lot of courage to do what you did, okay? And I do think it is about this idea of communicating better, right? Because
Exactly.
I tell you, I do feel your spirit, right?
Yeah.
And you having something that makes you look older or less energetic, that's not congruent. That's what I see more. And it is speaking to me, this idea of, we all want to be appreciated for who we are out there.
Exactly, and be the best that we can be. Life is short and fleeting. We just have to carry on and keep a smile, because it is true. I mean, the smiles, they multiply. People, it's amazing. You go to Disney and look around and you think, am I at a oh, where am I? These people they're dragging around and they're so unhappy. I'm at Disney. You know, I don't understand it. It's just amazing to me that, you know, people don't smile.
No, this is our smile doctor. And it's true. I mean, you're right. That is the best thing we can do, right?
Well, you're happy.
Right. We get the best results when we feel good and we have this natural smile come out of us. And I think some of the procedures that we do help patients move that way.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. That's Mother Nature's free facelift. It's the best looking thing and the most attractive thing we do to our face.
And it's exercise.
That's right. It's good exercise.
It's exercise.
Now,
yeah.
Mel, you had mentioned you've been to a couple of our seminars, and Mel actually comes out to our seminars and talks to other patients because she sat in that position, what do I do? Is this right for me? So Mel has been an amazing help for other people. How does that feel to come to our events and talk to people that
It feels wonderful, Dr. Rich. It really does. Everybody wants to better themselves, and I let them know. I show them before and after pictures on my phone, and it's a great reminder. I mean, I will never forget what I looked like. I mean, before you know, I was not happy. I was very unhappy with my 100-year-old neck.
I think it's a beautiful thing because it is difficult for patients to make these decisions, right? There's a lot of doubts that go through their mind, and yeah, having reference points like yourself and other people that help them, that they can say, well, this is something that can be successful, that really helps them in that. I mean, that's one of the many different things that people need to make that decision to go forward. So that's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah. It's easy to talk about something that makes you happy. I mean, it's very easy, and I like to let them all know that I've done plenty of homework. So, you know, take it from me and look at my pictures. And I have a diary of daily after. And they're amazed, you know, and you know, you have the procedure the next day, you're back in your office, and there's nothing to be afraid of, you know, and this shows a lot. I now have my young neck back.
There you go.
You know, I never thought I'd see it again.
Have people, people that you know who knew you were having done, have they commented about your recovery and what you look like now? I mean, has it affected, let's say, even the way that people who didn't know you think you're getting different reactions from people as a result of this?
Oh, for sure. When I'm even like I said, in the gym, I mean, ladies will come over and put their hands on my face and say, oh my God, you're beautiful. You know, yeah, I think people make me feel good about myself. You know.
Right.
And
awesome.
and I will shout it from the rooftops.
I'd say we are social beings. We put out something out there. We have our own self-concept. But yeah, when we get that back, that's even more empowering, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And Mel, did you have a chance to go through our book before you did the treatment?
Oh yes, and I have handed out many books simply because you can. It's laid out exactly what you can do, and you know how little you can do, or how much you, or you know, whatever you can want to do. It was very informative, and that's why I always pick up a few books and hand them out. You know.
Wonderful. Well, we appreciate that. We're trying to spread the word. A lot of people are unaware what their options are. That's why we're here, to let them know so they can make good choices, because when people know their options, they can choose what's right for them. Now, you had mentioned too that you had seen many different surgeons in consultation, but before you came to us, what was it that was holding you back, where you said, I just don't feel comfortable yet? Was there something specific that was holding you back?
This might help other plastic surgeons. Some of them, you were simply, I felt like a piece of meat, you know, not very, this is just the way it is and goodbye, and pay me your $75. Until I got over here, everybody charged $75. And I just felt like a piece of meat. I didn't feel a connection whatsoever. This is what I can do for you, or you're going to look like I took a baseball bat to you. And I have the pictures to show people that I didn't look. I know that everybody bruises differently and everything else, and I bruise all over everywhere badly, but I didn't with this procedure, and that, you know, that was amazing to me.
Well, you know, I'm sorry to hear you had that experience. It is important, though, that you've got a good rapport and a good connection with the doctor, because this is very customized. Sure. What is right for one person is not the correct choice for another.
It was horrible. I mean, I didn't think it looked like a 64-year-old neck. I mean, it was bad, very bad. You know, I just deflated, as if I were a giant person at one time, and I wasn't. You know, so.
No, I agree. I think you're like a much better version of yourself.
Thank you, I do. I feel so much better. I just feel happier. And I've always been a smiler, but now I really shine, I think. Thanks to Dr. Castellano.
Well, we appreciate you sharing your smile with us, and you really have helped a lot of other people spread their smile, because when they see what's possible with you, they say, hey,
Exactly.
I can do that too. There's hope for me. There's always options.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And it's wonderful to see two young doctors that are very passionate about what you do. And for all of us over 60s, I thank you both.
Thank you.
And we couldn't do it without you, so thank you here as
There
well.
you go.
I think we're a good team.
There
though.
we go.
It's
are
definitely
really
a good team. Thank you both. Thank you both.
Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us?
No, just, how happy I am. There's no words. I can't express how happy I am that I finally found the doctor that could help me, that could truly help me, and that I could trust.
Well, thank you for coming to us. And I'm going to ask you this question. So we have some younger viewers as well that may be in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. What would you say to someone like that? Because they haven't gone through some significant aging in their face, but they're seeing a little bit of it. And what would you tell someone like that, knowing that these changes are coming? And do you have any words that, based on your experience, that you would want to relate to the 20 or 30-year-old Mel, if you could talk with that, have that conversation?
That you have all of this in front of you. I mean, you have a beautiful life, and you don't have to age. You don't have to turn into your grandparents at all. I mean, now, oh gosh, the world is their oyster for sure, but we're still getting a piece of it ourselves.
Good for you. Yeah, it's never too late to invest in yourself.
Exactly, and continue to invest, because we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
I will continue to invest in myself.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Hey, well, I want to thank you also for being with us and sharing everything that you could with our viewers.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed being here. Thank you for having me.
So I think it was amazing what Mel said about searching around for plastic surgeons, because it is challenging. There's so many different options out there. And I think what it's about, the things that you talk about, smiling, I agree. I think it's about rapport. It's about the rapport that you build with someone. That is a good determinant that they have a good self-image that will allow them to feel really pleased with the outcome that they're going to have with the surgery.
Absolutely. A cosmetic consultation is a two-way interview. If the doctor can't make the patient smile, or if the patient can't make the doctor smile, saying, yes, they've got a good, healthy self-image, they have realistic expectations, both people need to be walking out of that consultation smiling because they feel good about the plan. But if the doctor says, wait a minute, this patient worries me, well, they're not smiling. Or if the patient says, wait a minute, is this doctor, do we have the same plan? And this is very artistic. It's not the way it was back in the day where it said, well, you either need a facelift or you don't. And by the way, I'm going to tell you everything you need because you don't know. This is very customized and individualized. So there has to be that give and take, and someone's having a good conversation when they're both smiling about it.
Absolutely, we're doing right here. And I say once again, that whole thing about how you find your plastic surgeon, that was a great comment that she made there. And the fact that you connected with her, you built that rapport, that's the key to finding the surgeon that you really should be going to.
Wow, I've got goosebumps.
I love my job.
Our patients you just heard from are real patients with real problems and have experienced real solutions.
On future programs, we will bring you more medical solutions, money management solutions, and even nutrition and exercise plans to help you tweak your transformation into a fuller, richer person.
That's right, Dr. Shiner. We would also like to hear from you and get your thoughts on what you feel your personal transformation subject would be.
You can do this by visiting our website. There you'll be able to give us your feedback and check out areas of interest. We want to hear from you. See you next time, and thank you for joining us today on Transformation Docs. I wish each of you a beautiful day.
And a beautiful smile.